train.
We've been waiting for you on BTV.
Funding for this program was provided in part by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and by the financial support of viewers like you.
Reach for the speed, reach for the whistle, go where the rail may run. Reach for the words, reach for the story, follow the rainbow's sun. To a shining time station, where dreams can come true, waiting there for you.
Wait, stop, go no further. Pause and halt. Harry, where are you taking our lost and found department?
The railroad wants to move it over to that new big station at Snarleyville.
That's never a good sign. When the railroad takes away your lost and found, I was afraid this would happen.
It's definitely bad news for Shining Time Station. Well, I better get this on the train.
Not just yet. Ah, here it is. I knew my bicycle would turn up someday. Well, see you later, Harry. I want to take a last ride around the station.
This has always been a strange place. I suppose that's why I like it. I'm sure gonna miss it.
Matt, Tanya, hurry. What is it, Stacy? Someone we know leaving on the train? No. I just want you little folks to take a good look at that train and remember it well. It might be the last train to ever stop at Shining Time Station. Huh? Farewell, 499. Engine 499, the pride of the line. It stayed on its tracks and was mostly on time.
That engine was special.
Are they taking old 499 off the railroad?
No, it won't be stopping here anymore.
How come, Grandpa?
Stacy, you better tell me.
Well, kids, Shining Time Station is a small station, and, well, the railroad has just made a big new station in Snarleyville. And now they want to send all their trains to that new station in Snarleyville. The railroad wants to close Shining Time Station forever and ever? We think so.
Well, hello there to you too, old happy campers. Hey, didn't know you cared so much.
We were waving to the train, Skeeter. And Stacy says that might be the last train ever to stop at Shining Time Station.
Fantastic!
Skeeter, you don't understand. It means that they might be closing down the whole station.
You mean they're gonna put me out of business too? This is terrible. They can't do something like that. I mean, we're just going to have to do something about this.
Hello, Stacy Jones speaking, Shining Time Station. Oh, yes, Mr. King? Yes, we'll be here. Goodbye.
Well?
Well, that was Mr. J.D. King, Esquire, and he's coming to see us. I think he wants to tell us personally that they are going to close our station down. No, they can't. I'm afraid they can, honey. They own the railroad. I just can't help getting the feeling that...
Stacy.
Oh, I don't know, Larry.
But where will you and Stacy go?
Oh, they'll find work for us over at Snarlyville.
Mr. Conductor, did you hear the news?
Yes, I'm afraid I have, Matt.
What's wrong with Shining Time Station?
The railroad thinks it's old-fashioned. Yes, old-fashioned, just like my friend Trevor.
What happened to Trevor?
Well, I'll tell you the story because it has a sad beginning, but a happy ending. Maybe it will cheer us all up. Sir Topham Hatt works his engines hard, but they are very proud when he calls them really useful. I'm going to the scrapyard today, Edward called to Thomas. What? Already? You're not that old, replied Thomas cheekily. Thomas was only teasing. The scrapyard is full of rusty old parts and machinery. They are broken into pieces, loaded into cars, and Edward pulls them to the steelworks, where they are melted down and used again. Today, there was a surprise waiting for Edward in the yard. It was a traction engine. Hello, said Edward. You're not broken and rusty. What are you doing here? I'm Trevor. They're going to break me up next week. What a shame, said Edward. My driver says I only need some paint, polish, and oil to be as good as new. But my owner says I'm old-fashioned. Edward snorted. People say I'm old-fashioned, but I don't care. Sir Topham Hatt says I'm a useful engine. What work did you do? My owner would send us from farm to farm. We threshed corn, hauled logs, and did lots of other work. The children loved to see us. Trevor shut his eyes, remembering. Oh, yes, I like children. Edward set off for the station. Broken up, what a shame. Broken up, what a shame. I must tell Trevor, I must. He thought of all his friends who liked engines, but strangely none of them would have room for a traction engine at home. It's a shame, he hissed. Then, beep, beep. Why didn't I think of him before? There, on the platform, was the very person. Hello, Edward. You look upset. What's the matter, Charlie? He asked the driver. There's a traction engine in the scrapyard, Vicar. He'll be broken up next week. Jem Cole says he never drove a better engine. Do save him, sir. He saws wood and gives children rides. We'll see, replied the vicar. Jem Cole came on Saturday. The Reverend's coming to see you, Trevor. Maybe he'll buy you. Do you think he will? asked Trevor hopefully. He will when I've lit your fire and cleaned you up. The vicar and his two boys arrived that evening. Trevor hadn't felt so happy for months. He choppered about the yard. Show your paces, Trevor, said the vicar. Later, he came out of the office smiling. I've got him cheap, Jem, cheap. Do you hear that, Trevor? Cried Jem. The Reverend saved you and you live at the vicarage now. Peep, peep, whistled Trevor. Now Trevor's home is in the vicarage orchard, and he sees Edward every day. His paint is spotless and his brass shines like gold. Trevor likes his work, but his happiest day is the church fair. With a wooden seat bolted to his bunker, he'd chauffeur us round the orchard, giving rides to children. Long afterwards, you will see him shut his eyes, remembering. I like children, he whispers happily.
Trevor got saved. Maybe Shining Time Station can be saved too. Skimmer, what are you doing?
Barricade myself in, Miss Jones. This is war. It is us against them.
Things may still turn out all right in the end.
No, you do not understand, Miss Stacy Jones. Sergeant Schemer does take it personally. I love this place. I love everything about it. Even that old jukebox back there. And to prove it to you, what song would you like to hear? My Tree.
Your tree? Well, how about a railroad song?
You got it.
Man, it's an uncool scene out there.
If they close the station, what's gonna happen to us?
I think we'll be out of a job, Red.
I guess so, Ted.
Maybe we could get a job inside a popcorn maker, throwing popcorn up in the air. I think we could learn to love it.
And hey!
The selection is one song only. Little Black Train. Can we do this like in a hard bop groove? Sometimes you two are so square.
Yeah, just play already.
There's a little black train coming. Get all your business right. A little black train coming. Get all your business right. There's a little black train coming. And it may be here tonight. Oh, the little black train is coming. It's coming round the bend. Oh, the little black train is coming. It's coming round the bend. You can hear the wheels moving and rattling through the land. Oh, here it comes now. Oh, the little black train is coming. It's coming round the curve. Oh, the little black train is coming. It's coming round the curve, whistling and a blowing and straining every nerve. Yeah. Oh, the little black train is coming. Get ready, get ready.
That's the train, Steven.
Hey! 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 Stop! Stop that train!
Will the circus train stop at Snarlyville?
Yes. Snarlyville is a big station. Little stations like this one are fading into the past. You see them everywhere nowadays. Abandoned railroad stations. I'd better finish getting things together here. Why don't you kids go out and keep Stacy company?
Bye, Grandpa. Bye, Harry.
Oh, sometimes moving away can be real sad, I know. But how about all the wonderful times we had together here? You know what, kids? Memories are really special because they can never leave you. So whenever you want to come back to Shining Time Station, all you have to do is close your eyes and imagine you're here and then help yourself to feel happy again.
But it's still so awful.
Oh.
Yeah, awful. Mr. Conductor, are you leaving already?
I'm a railroad man, Tanya. I have to be where the trains are.
Will we ever see you again? Please don't leave. Take us with you.
Now don't start that. You're both going to make lots of new friends. You'll see.
We don't want new friends. We want you.
Nonsense. Of course you want new friends. Everybody wants new friends. Even Thomas, who thought he knew everyone, was happy to meet Trevor. Oops, it's later than I thought.
Oh, tell us what happened. Don't go.
All right. I always have time for one more story. Trevor, the traction engine, enjoyed living in the vicarage orchard. Edward came to see him every day, but sometimes Trevor didn't have enough work to do. I do like to keep busy all the time, he sighed one day. And I do like company, especially children's company. Cheer up, smiled Edward. Sir Topham Hatt has work for you at his new harbour. I'm to take you to meet Thomas today. Ah, exclaimed Trevor happily. A harbour. The seaside. Children. That will be lovely. Thomas was on his way to the harbour with a trainload of metal pilings. They were needed to make the harbour wall firm and safe. Hello, Thomas, said Edward. This is Trevor, a friend of mine. He's a traction engine. Thomas eyed the newcomer doubtfully. A what engine? He asked. A traction engine, explained Trevor. I run on roads instead of rails. Can you take me to the harbour, please? Sir Topham Hatt has a job for me. Yes, of course, replied Thomas, but he was still puzzled. Workmen coupled Trevor's car to Thomas's train, and soon they were ready to start their journey.
Yeah.
I'm glad Sir Topham Hatt needs me, called Trevor. I don't have enough to do sometimes, you know. Although I can work anywhere. In orchards, on farms, in scrapyards, even at harbours. But you don't run on rails, thought Thomas. I'm a traction engine. I don't need rails to be useful, replied Trevor. You wait and see. When they reached the harbour, they found everything in confusion. Cars had been derailed, blocking the line, and stone slabs lay everywhere. We must get these pilings past, said Thomas's driver. They are essential. Trevor, we need you to drag them round this mess. Just the sort of job I like, replied Trevor. Now you'll see, Thomas. I'll soon show you what traction engines can do. Trevor was as good as his word. He dragged the pilings clear with chains and towed them into position. Who needs rails? He muttered cheerfully to himself. Thomas brought Annie and Clarabelle to visit him. Thomas was most impressed. Now I understand how useful a traction engine can be. The coaches were full of children. Trevor gave them rides along the harbour. He liked this best of all. He's very kind, said Annie. He reminds me of Thomas, added Clarabelle. Everyone was sorry when it was time for Trevor to go. Thomas pulled him to the junction. A small tear came into Trevor's eye. Thomas pretended not to see. He whistled gaily to make Trevor happy. I'll come and see you if I can, he promised. The vicar will look after you, and there's plenty of work for you now at the orchard. But we may need you again at the harbour someday. That would be wonderful, said Trevor. That evening, Trevor stood remembering his new friend Thomas, the harbour, and most of all, the children. Then he went happily to sleep in the shed at the bottom of the orchard. Now, I think it is getting time for me to leave.
Not yet. Please, not yet.
Now, let me tell you both something. No matter what happens, we will always be friends.
Promise? Promise?
It's a promise. Goodbye now. Goodbye.
Wait! You forgot your hat. It's too late. Now he's gone forever.
Good day, Miss Jones.
Oh. Good day, Mr. King.
Well, yes. Now, on to business. I imagine you know why I'm here. It is my duty as superintendent of the Indian Valley Railroad to officially close this station.
No, you can't close this station. Shining Time is the best station the Indian Valley Railroad has.
Are you two major stockholders in this railroad?
No.
Good. Now, let me explain something to you kids. We just built a huge station at Snarleyville. We don't need these little stations anymore. Besides, I like things big. Bigger is better. Tell me, you two both want to grow up and be big, don't you?
Well,
Sure you do. Now you're thinking correctly. Now you're thinking big.
I don't want to be big if it means losing what's nice.
Well, you've got a point there.
John! I have a plan. I was just talking to my mommy, and she said we might be able to move the entire train station to her backyard.
Oh, thank you, Schemer. But how would the trains get over there? Schemer, you remember Mr. King, superintendent of the railroad?
I remember you. You're the one who's responsible for the misery around here. You're the one responsible for taking away all the trains.
What is the meaning of this? No trains are supposed to stop here anymore. That's Jerry the Juggler! My favorite juggling clown in the entire world! That's Jerry the Juggler, my idol!
What's going on here, Stacy, huh? The railroad rerouted the circus train past here to some awful place called Snarleyville. We had to back up the whole way to pull in here.
You know Jerry the Juggler?
Oh, yes, Jerry, this is Mr. King, superintendent of the railroad.
Are you the one responsible for closing down this station?
That's not funny. No, that's not funny.
You may not know this, but the circus train goes 200 miles out of its way every year just to stop at this station. Did you know that? This station is special to us. There's just no other place like it. We wouldn't think of going on tour without stopping here first. It's our lucky charm. So, I appreciate it. I sure hope it's not being shut down.
Well, I don't know what to say.
Well, I'd like to say something, Mr. King. Jerry's circus stops in all the little towns and all the big cities all over the state. By that way, everyone gets a chance to see his circus. And trains, why, they're sort of like the circus, Mr. King, because, well, we feel that everyone should have a chance to take a train ride, even if they live in the tiniest, smallest little town in the state. But if you close our station, then no one who lives here will ever be able to see the circus in their own town again. And no one will ever be able to take a train that lets them off at Shining Time Station.
Well, I'm going to have to think about that, Miss Jones.
Great. Thinking about it is a step in the right direction. Everybody! Everybody look at me! Everybody look! 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 I'm gonna go tell the others.
So this is where Mr. Conductor lived. I see. I see. This is a special place. Hey, kids. What do you say we leave this station open? On one condition, Miss Jones.
Yes, sir?
You get me Jerry the Juggler's autograph?
Oh, of course!
Well, I'm going to go watch the circus train on the road. You know, Jerry the Juggler has a very serious side. I like that in the juggling clown.
You know something? You know something? I love this railroad station.
I guess I'm glad they reopened the station. But it's too late. Mr. Conductor has already left. I know. It won't be Shining Time Station without him. Where are we going to put his hat? We don't even have a lost and found right now.
But I haven't lost my hat. I'm right here.
Oh, Mr. Conductor, you're back home!
You had a feeling this would work out in the end, didn't you, Stacy?
Just have a way of working out right around here, Harry. As we always say, there's just something about this place.
Reach for the speed, reach for the whistle, go where the rail may run. Reach for the words, reach for the story, follow the rainbow sun. To a shining time station, where dreams can come true, waiting there for you. So much to see, so far to travel, so much to learn to know. Friends by your side, hopes to hold on to, who knows how far you'll go. To a shining time station, where dreams can come true. Your own imagination waiting there for you.
Funding for this program was provided in part by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and by the financial support of viewers like you.
This is a story about a curious kid.
Got a night girl watching the wind.
She asked how, she acted why.
Took some of best and gave that a try.
Then she found something that would float.
Put her mind to act and made herself a boat.
Local broadcast.